Hello, this is Biblical Tarot, and I'm back with another video. And this is my card of the day today. We got the Wheel of Fortune, and it was so interesting that the High Priestess came up again because I think it was a couple of days ago or a day ago, somewhere around there, that the High Priestess came up as the bottom card. And she came up again today. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and let her be there because she's there for a reason. So this is 5/15/20, and we'll start with the Wheel of Fortune, which I find to be one of my favorite cards. One of my favorite cards, but not the most favorite. But I just love it. And so we're going to get a little background on it, on the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune, it is the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is definitely a benevolent planet, and it is the Hebrew letter Kaf, which takes the value of 20. And the Kaf means a palm of hand, or a hand gripping something, or a cupped hand. The hollow of the hand, the hold in palm, the hollow of the hand to hold in palm of hand. That's what I wanted to say. So where we're at on the tree of life is Netzach number 7, and it goes up to Hesed number 4, which Netzach is victory, and it's the planet Venus, and Hesed is mercy, God's loving kindness, which is the planet Jupiter. Okay, and we're also the Wheel of Fortune. It takes the correspondent of Jupiter too. Okay, and we know Jupiter has like lots of good things going on usually, so that's an interesting thing. And Calf and the Wheel of Fortune is associated with movement. It's cyclic, it's like a circle. It takes place in a closed cycle, conveys concepts of movement and immobility, dynamic, progression, and tradition too. Okay, so it's a moving, is living things are all as okay. The Wheel of Fortune is moving, okay, and it's moving just as living things are always moving, and nothing stays the same, okay. Jupiter is benevolent, I said that, and he's generous. He's about improving or overcoming and succeeding. So if you have like Jupiter in your chart, that's usually a good thing, but there's always a downside of that too, because you don't want to be too generous or too kind to people when you have to be, stern. So there's always a downside or a shadow side. So we'll go up here to the image and we see the Wheel of Fortune. And so the image that the Wheel of Fortune, it reminds me of, which is in my interpretation, it reminds me and corresponds to Yahweh's throne, okay? It's always moving. His throne is moving, and it's led by the 4 living creatures, okay? We see them on the Rider-Waite card. You see them each in the corner. The 4 images of the man, lion, eagle, and calf. They are the cherubim angels. They are guardian angels. They move, they don't turn, since they face all compass points simultaneously. Beside the 4 living creatures are wheels, okay? As you see in the picture, you see the wheel, but you see circles within the wheel, and that always reminds me of the wheels within the wheels within the wheels. And we'll learn about that in a little bit. The 4 living creatures are the 4 living creatures have wheels with full of eyes, or they're beside the wheels with full of eyes. So there's like eyes on the wheels, and they are said to represent the 4 fixed zodiac. These 4 creatures here with the wings, they're said to represent Aquarius, that's the man or the person. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but the Leo is supposed to correspond to the lion. Scorpio corresponds to the bird, which I don't think that's the eagle, but usually they have it as an eagle. Okay, but I don't think that is an eagle. And the calf is corresponded to Taurus, and those are the fixed zodiac in the zodiac chart. So the the four cherubim angels, they hold up the Most High's throne. Okay, the throne is said to be a merkbah or a chariot, and the merkbah is a chariot. Okay, it's Ezekiel 1:15 to 21. Okay, I'm going to show it on the screen. So the interpretation of the wheel of fortune to me is the principle of opportunity. It could be a breakthrough, prosperity, abundance, fortune, involvement of life changes, which knowledge comes from change and experience. When you experience the will being on the upside and the will being on the downturn, we all experience it. All of us do. Times are up, sometimes times are down. It also involves action, whether the will is turned against us or for us. We follow through with success and make it out of the bad times if the will is turned down. It's the turning of the wheel, our fate always changing. Sometimes it says you will have new changes, okay, coming into your life. But no matter what changes, for good or bad, stand on the foundation of your truth and move with the will. Don't resist it, because just as the wheel turns, we turn on this beautiful earth, rotating and changing times, seasons. It fits within this card, the times and the seasons. Okay. So if you look at the four angels, you see them holding a book. They're all holding a book. Okay. And that reminds me of Revelations chapter 10. And it has an angel in it. And the angel gives St. John a scroll. And the angel tells him to eat it. And he does. He eats it. So when he eats it, it becomes it actually, when he eats it or he tastes it, it tastes so sweet like honey. But as soon as he eats it and it goes down in his belly, it becomes bitter. Okay. These creatures also, they represent the four elements, the four directions, the four gospels within the New Testament: Mark, John, Matthew, and Luke. Okay. Each one of those creatures represent those. Okay. So back to the St. John who ate the scroll, and it was like honey but became bitter. It was sweet like honey in my mouth. But when I had eaten it, my stomach became sour or bitter. Okay? I believe that also kind of corresponds with the Gospels or the Bible, just like those four creatures are holding. Obviously, it's a Bible, you know? I think, in my interpretation, it is a Bible. And I think Arthur E. Waite wanted it to look like a Bible because those four creatures are on Yahweh's throne. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to the High Priestess. And we went through this the other day, that she represents the moon. She is the Hebrew letter Gimel, which is valued at 3. She takes the path of Keter to Tefrith, okay, which I think that's the 13th path, if I'm not mistaken. It's the 13th path. But like on the card, the moon is at her feet, you know. It's obviously to water, because you can tell her dress, it just kind of flows down like as if it's water, you know. And she's in between the two pillars, which the two pillars are Boaz and Jachin, or Jachin, however you want to say it. So the High Priestess is the shadow card, the bottom of the deck. When I looked on the bottom of the deck, it was her. And of course, I did her a couple of days ago, but I think it's important for me to do her again. And I can talk about how she represents the Shekinah, which the Shekinah is the Holy Spirit, which means wisdom. And wisdom was with God in the beginning. And she says to us, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The high priestess holds the Torah, as you see her with the scroll. And in the other card, you've seen the four creatures with the Bible, which is basically the Torah, the scroll, just like she has. Okay. She, the book, the Torah is full of wisdom. You know, I believe she is the wisdom of that book. Every letter and every word, she is there. She's there. Wisdom calls out to you, and it calls out to me. It calls out to all of us for us to listen. Okay? Proverbs 120, I will put it on the screen. We want to listen to her secrets, which is wisdom, okay? She calls out to us. She calls out for anyone to listen to her secrets, which is full of wisdom. She will comfort you and care for you. She was the cloud that descended from the heavens and settled in the tabernacle. Now, if you know anything about the Old Testament, Moses went up and got the tablets, and they made the tabernacle, and they had the ark. They made the ark of the covenant, and they put the tablets in it, and they put it in the holy of holies, the most holy place. Okay, and sorry about that. And in the most holy place, that's where the smoke would come out. Okay, it would be smoke because she is the cloud that descended from the heavens and settled in the tabernacle. She is the glory of God. She can dwell with you. So, just like St. John, eat the book. Eat the book just like him. And it will be sweet as honey, but also there's going to be some bitterness to it. But your eyes will be open with wisdom, and she will definitely dwell with you. So, this was my card of the day. I hope you liked it. I tried my best to give you a perspective on the second card with the Wheel of Fortune. I will do another card of the day tomorrow, and I hope you come back so we can learn some more and get some inspiration and get a message of the day. Thank you. I love you. Have a good rest of the day. Bye.